Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we're going to be doing a video about NIO. Before I start the video, guys, please make sure to leave a like on the video below. Subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Join the family, guys. Let's go on our investor journey together. So today we're going to be doing a video about NIO and why NIO stock actually fell in the last trading session. Is NIO stock due for a pullback? Should you buy the dip on NIO stock? Is NIO due for a correction? So really taking a look at the bigger perspective, in the last trading session, NIO stock was actually down 7.56%. And even looking at the 1 week chart, NIO stock is down 13.49%. And a lot of people are wondering, why did NIO stock have such a bad week last week? Is it because people are finally taking profits? NIO Day was such a success. Why are people pulling out their profits? Well, there's a few reasons overall why NIO stock actually did fall. You guys have to understand that NIO is a huge growth stock. It has been growing a lot. So it is very, very normal for these stocks to have a correction. It is always normal for these stocks to have a pullback. For me, I usually like to take these opportunities and actually buy the dip on the stock. I think overall, it is very, very good to take opportunities like this if you're super, super bullish on the stock to basically buy more of the stock itself. Like I said, with a bunch of companies, whether it be Amazon, Tesla, NIO, all the big time companies are always due for a correction. A lot of people do think that the EV market is very overvalued, but in my personal opinion, I don't think that, the EV market is very overvalued. I think people are just kind of starting to get used to that. The EV market is barely going to carry us into the future. NIO has had a lot of good news recently. NIO Day being such a success overall, the stock almost hit $67 and the stock was rallying for a little bit. So why all of a sudden did NIO fall 13% in 1 week? Well, there's a few reasons for that. One, it's concerns over the fact that the ET7 sedan may not be enough to combat Tesla's expansion into China. So taking a look at it from a bigger perspective, Tesla has started to expand into China, and Tesla being a more established brand, Tesla definitely having a more backing by a lot of investors and a lot of people. It's going to definitely pose a threat for NIO. I think NIO is going to do just fine. I think NIO can have the potential to be the top EV company in China. And NIO currently does rank among its EV Chinese competitors as #1, Li Auto and XPeng as well. So really taking a look at it, NIO is doing very, very well for itself. But people are kind of getting worried about Tesla's expansion into China, really thinking that it could actually pose a threat for NIO. But in other news as well, Citibank actually downgraded the stock from buy to hold. And, obviously when a big time analyst downgrades the stock, it's never really a good sign. And obviously that's just one analyst. And it's not like they overall changed their overall analyst on the actual company itself or the analysis per se. I think overall, like I said, they just change it from a buy to a hold. It's not like they change it from a buy to a sell, but they still do have a pretty good price target for NIO stock. But I do think that is part of the reason on why NIO stock did have a bad trading session last week as well. Like I said, when a big time analyst downgrades the stock, it is always something to be concerned about, just to a certain extent. Like I said, it's just one analyst, but you always want to know why, overall, why did Citibank downgrade the stock? But the biggest piece of news, in my personal opinion, and why I actually think NIO stock did fall in the last trading session is because one of the co-founders, Jack Chang, is actually going to lead a new open EV platform, also known as Foxconn. So why is this super, super important? So obviously, Jack Chang was a big part of NIO's success, and, Foxconn being another EV company, could definitely pose a threat to NIO stock in itself. Like I said, Jack Chang did a very good job with NIO. He definitely did grow NIO a lot. NIO has definitely had its consistent sales, and it's been growing a lot just due to the fact, that NIO's brand has become a lot more known. Their sales are increasing, and they're dropping a bunch of new vehicle lines. But really diving a little bit deeper, you know what I mean? It's just looking at Jack Chang leading basically a new EV company. It just goes to show, that this is definitely going to pose a threat to NIO as a company in itself. But in other news as well, NIO also did take out a huge loan, which half of them don't actually pay interest, which is, something to basically be, something to worry about in its sense. Like I said, NIO prices its $1.5 billion of debt at a guaranteed 50% premium. So taking a look at it from a bigger perspective, NIO is taking out a lot of debt to make sure that it can actually be able to continue to expanding. Like I said, NIO having plans to expand into China, or into Europe by the year of 2021. So really taking a look at everything all together, NIO did have a little bit of bad news, which I do think, did lead to the fall of the stock a little bit. But there's also, like at the start of the new year, people do like to take profits just in case. People do like to explore other avenues, but it was definitely a bad trading week for NIO. Like I said, down 13%, but I'm assured that NIO stock will go back up. That's just obviously, NIO is doing a very great job for itself. I continue to expect sales to increase. I continue expect that NIO is going to be doing a very great job in itself. So we do know that NIO is growing, and obviously days like this, I always tell people, buy the dip on NIO stock if that's what you wish. Obviously, everything I say in my videos is not financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. But for me, on days like this where NIO does fall a lot, I always like to average down. There was earlier in the year of 2020 where NIO went from like $57 all the way back down to about $38. You always take the opportunity, buy the dip. Stocks do go up and down. And like I said, it's completely normal. It's not just NIO who goes through these pullbacks. A lot of big time companies, even Tesla, Amazon, Google, all these big time companies, all will have corrections. But as the EV market really starts to expand, the EV market really starts to grow, I do think that NIO stock is going to continue hiking forward. I do think that NIO stock is going to continue going up, and I do still have a price target of NIO at $100. Like I said, NIO working very hard to perfect all of its technology, the self-driving chip, dropping up a whole new product line and expanding into Europe by the middle of this year. So rest assured, I do think NIO stock is going to go back up. Like I said, it's backed by a lot of big time analysts, and a lot of people are super, super bullish on NIO. But NIO probably was due for a pullback. It did have a huge run up right after NIO Day. And, like I said, people do like to secure their profits, which is completely okay. And like I said, followed by a little bit of bad news of Jack Chang, basically being appointed CEO of Foxconn, Citibank downgrading the stock, and NIO taking out a lot of debt, did obviously scare some people into selling the stock, along with some profit taking. It is the new year. A lot of new companies are IPOing, and people do like to explore other options. With that being said, guys, that's all I really have to say about the video. Let me know down in the comment section below, guys, what you think of NIO stock. Do you think NIO stock is going to hit $100 by the end of the year? If you guys own NIO stock, how many shares do you guys own and what's your average? I'm always very curious to know. With that being said, guys, thank you. Have a great day.